Hello, I'm Richard Nongard with subliminalscience.com, and a lot of people ask me, how do you build a successful private practice? So I figured I'd take a couple of minutes here on YouTube to just share with you some of the ideas that I actually use that have been helpful to me. I'll also touch on a couple ideas that a lot of people do that I think are particularly poor ideas in an effort to help you save your money and focus your marketing endeavors in a direction that's positive. I found, by the way, that one of the most effective ways to advertise my private practice for clinical hypnosis is on the radio. Now, if I go down to the local radio station, though, and ask them if I can buy some radio ads, in my particular market, the cheap station that nobody listens to, they're going to tell me $15 to $20, even for off-peak time, per ad. And the high dollar radio station, the one that everybody listens to, is going to tell me anywhere from $45 to $80 per ad. With that kind of a budget, it would be really hard to make money in private practice. So the question is there an easier, a less expensive way to buy quality radio advertising? And the answer to that is yes. Through Google Adwords program, and if you go to google.com, on the lower left-hand side, there's a blue link that said, advertising opportunities, Google AdWords. Click on that. You can actually set up a Google AdWords account. It will require that you set up a text-based account, a Google, actual advertisement account. You don't have to run the ad, though. You can cancel that ad and not advertise on the internet, and then jump straight down to the audio ads section. And if you can record using a microphone and an MP3 program, a 30-second radio ad, you can then upload that to Google, and you can buy essentially unused radio time for about 10 cents on the dollar. One radio station I was advertising on was an AM sports radio station, and they were charging me, because sports is a very niche market, anywhere from $10 to $15 per advertisement. But I was buying on that exact same radio station from Google the exact same ads for between 50 cents and $1 per play. Needless to say, I stopped buying from the sales rep and switched right on over to Google AdWords, audio AdWords. The second thing I want to talk about is the yellow pages. I think the yellow pages are yesterday's news. A lot of people advertise in the yellow pages. I wouldn't bother advertising in the yellow pages in the year 2009. The reality is, nobody uses the yellow pages to find things anymore. They use the internet. I think it's much more important to have an internet domain name that actually searches for the terms that people look for. For example, if your hypnosis center is called, the Perfect You Hypnosis, nobody's going to be searching for the Perfect You Hypnosis unless they already know your name. Instead, they're going to be looking for hypnotist in Austin, or hypnotist in Wichita, or hypnotist in, Montana. And so I would buy the domain name, hypnotistinaustin.com, hypnotistinawichita.com. Buy the domain names that actually contain the words people are searching for. You'll find that much more effective than the yellow pages. People don't use the yellow pages anymore. As a matter of fact, when I get them, I just throw them away because it's a waste of space in my house. I use the internet, like most people do, to find my phone numbers in the year 2009. Save yourself some money on yellow page advertising. The only thing the yellow pages is good for is developing a mailing list of potential referrals. You have a list of physicians, you have a list of chiropractors, a list of drug and alcohol treatment centers. You can kind of use the yellow pages to get your mailing list from, but I certainly wouldn't encourage you to sign a contract for a year with yellow pages for advertising that, in my opinion, the consumer no longer is using. The third thing that I want to talk about are the weekly newspapers. For example, in Austin, they have the Austin Chronicle. In Wichita, Kansas, they have the F5. In Tulsa, they have the Urban Tulsa. In Eugene, Oregon, they have the Eugene Weekly, I think it is. And these papers come out in a lot of cities every single week. And they may contain political editorials. They typically contain a lot of entertainment information, sometimes real estate sections. Sometimes in the back they offer a very eclectic range of services, ranging from porn to house sitting and all kinds of strange things in the back. The back page of these weekly newspapers usually is classified advertising of usually a fairly eclectic variety. People who read these weekly newspapers will tend to read them on a weekly basis. And classified advertising in them is cheap. And so I would recommend to you buying a classified ad or two and running them forever in these weekly newspapers. People use these weekly newspapers like they used to use the phone directory. Hey, I do want a hypnotist. I remember seeing that guy's ad every single week in the Eugene Weekly. I think I'll go pick up a copy so I can get the phone number. And I've had good luck in using classified advertising on a repetitive and weekly basis in those weekly newspapers. By the way, I haven't had good luck with display advertising in the local newspapers, like in the daily newspapers. But in those weekly newspapers, I found a pretty good response rate from those repetitive classified ads. The next thing that I think is a bad idea is paying for referrals. One of the guys who I actually learned hypnosis from, his marketing program was, well, what if I could give you a $50 bill? In a lot of states, paying for a referral is actually a criminal offense. And I think it also comes across as real tacky in the year 2009. Paying for referrals is not an accepted practice in the medical and dental community in the year 2009. And so finding referrals simply through building professional relationships with individuals is a much more effective way than offering these folks a brand new $50 bill if they'll just send a patient your way. The next thing that I think is effective is to offer free classes. I've been doing this since I started my career 20 years ago. 20 years ago I started offering free classes, and the cool thing about free classes is that you get free listings in the newspaper for your agency. The daily newspaper, the Sunday newspaper, the weekly newspapers all have an event section, and they'll all usually list these things for free. So you can essentially get free weekly ongoing advertising, and even if somebody doesn't attend your free class, they see your name and your contact information and your phone number, and they might call you for something else. So why not take advantage of that free advertising opportunity that the daily newspapers, and sometimes even the radio stations, even the cable TV stations will actually give you to announce free community events. And I found, by the way, that when folks do come out for those free community events, whether it's 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 or 10 or 12 people, that I end up being able to build relationships with those folks and turning them into paying clients in private practice pretty easily. And the last idea is to simply use the principle of suggestion to build your referral base. Have in your office a marker board, and have it by the desk, where people first come in, the reception desk, and just say, thank you for your referrals, and put the first name of clients who have referred somebody else. Brian S. Put 1. Joe S. Put 2 chicken scratches representing they've referred 2 people. Frida F. Put 3 chicken scratches for the 3 people that she's referred. What this does is this lets people know that there's an expectation that they will refer your friends. And when I give folks a business card, which I do in every single session, even if they come back from multiple sessions, I always give them 2, and I give them this suggestion. The suggestion, here's a card for you, and here's a card you can give to a friend. And that simple suggestion is something they often act on, because they take both cards, and when they're in their wallet looking for change at a restaurant, they hand it to their friend who they're with, because they're supposed to do that. It's a suggestion we've made. And that positive reward of having their name on the board, people like to see their name in lights. By the way, protect their confidentiality by only using a first name. And putting it on the board is a great way to have positive reinforcement to increase your referral base. I actually have a video titled How to Build a Successful All-Cash Private Practice. It's at my website, subliminalscience.com, along with a lot of other resources for hypnosis training and hypnosis certification training programs. So if you're interested in clinical hypnosis and how to be successful in building an all-cash private practice, or be successful at helping clients to achieve their goals, check out my webpage, subliminalscience.com. And I'm always more than happy to answer any questions, give you any ideas, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future.